Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live broadcast before the Whitaker Marketing Group land auction this morning.
I feel like we need to call this something, Tanner.
We do. First of all, we got to figure out, is it the Chalupka Trust Auction? The name of the sellers today. The trust that's got 635.91 acres for sale, plus or minus, more or less, as Dave would say. We're sitting here in our studio, the Whitaker Marketing Group studio in Slater, Iowa, just ahead of the land auction that's taking place out in Guthrie County. Going to be a big sale day. It's going to be an exciting one for all of those that are attending. Remember, you don't bid here watching this live link. If it is a farm or farms that you're interested in bidding on, you need to go to wmgauction.com. Click on that Guthrie County auction. Make sure you get registered to bid before you jump in and start. Corey, I almost wore the same shirt that you've got on this morning.
Put another one on.
But yes, I'm Tanner. This is Corey, and we are co-hosts with Dave Whitaker on the Farm for Profit podcast. So we're going to dive in here before the auction starts at 10 o'clock Central Time and kind of talk through the offerings that are being put up for sale today. We do have 8 different tracks. Dave will be selling these farms on a choice basis. So if you are the highest bidder at the end of the first bidding session, you do have the choice to take one of the parcels of yours or all parcels and any combination in between.
We saw that on a large acre auction yesterday from another company that sold over 1,300 acres, and it was by choice. And I believe the first tract went for $16,000 an acre. This was in Hardin County, I believe. And then they went back to the auction and bid to 13.8, and they took the rest of them. They took over almost 1,300 acres in one fell swoop.
That takes a mighty checkbook.
So just makes you. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. How many acres do we have for sale today through Whitaker Marketing?
Just shy of 636 acres, more or less.
635. So that's a large chunk. I know Dave is pretty excited about this one. It's not, a lot of times we see 40s and 80s and quarters and things like that sale, and then this is a big one. So this is a once in a lifetime opportunity to buy this large of a chunk and in this vicinity to each other.
That's correct. The proximity is very close. When you look at the Guthrie County Assessor's page, there's farm ground up just outside of the town of Yale, and traveling no more than 10 miles, you can get from farm to farm themselves. So a lot of ground in a very tight area, a lot of very comparable ground. So if I start off and go through the auction flyer that Whitaker Marketing Group has put in place, Tract 1 consists of 155.13 acres, approximately 150 tillable acres. The CSR2 value there is 86.5. So it is a very good producing farm. The land has a history of 217 bushel corn yields and 62 bushel soybean yields, Corey. So that's very respectable there. It is in good proximity to Highway 141, which is a major artery through central Iowa.
Right. Yeah. So as these farms lay, if you were to look at Des Moines, we're all used to looking at Iowa on a map. Des Moines is right kind of in the center of Iowa. You got I-80 going east to west in Iowa, and you got I-35 going north to south. It kind of splits the state into 4 quadrants. This would be just northwest of Des Moines. I'm going off just my knowledge here. Maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Yep. And these first, the tracks 1, 2, and 3 are just outside of a small town called Bagley, Bagley. Track 2 is the unique one of the group, maybe the redheaded stepchild. As we look, it's only 24 acres, and it's pasture ground.
Okay.
So the only piece there, you're looking at it right on your screen, right in front of you there. It is pasture ground. It does still carry a CSR2 value of 82.4, so could be row cropped if the buyer would like to do so. They have also confirmed with planning and zoning that this is an approved parcel to build upon. So could be a unique piece in a lot of different fashions.
Yeah. So just because it's pasture ground now doesn't mean, like you said, it's 82.4 CSR2. Now that's still a very good piece of ground. It looks like it maybe has a wet spot or two in it from this aerial photo. But looks like there's definitely some cattle paths and stuff. So they've been using it as pasture out there.
Certainly has. Track 3. So again, these all three are right up there around that town, Bagley. Track 3 is 79 acres, tillable roughly 77 acres, carries a CSR2 value of 88.5. So it is among the North farms with good soils themselves. Carries a corn history for yield of 204 and 68 bushel soybeans. Again, it's right up there along Highway 141. So that really takes those first couple of tracks that are up around the Bagley area. The rest of these farms are south, just like I said, 8 to 10 miles closer to Yale.
Okay.
As we jump into those farms south, tract 4 is 70 acres with roughly 68 acres tillable. CSR2 value there is 88.6. It carries a production history of 279 bushel to the acre for corn yields and 68 bushel soybean yields. So this is closer to State Highway 4 and has been in the family for over 150 years.
Wow. That just proves once in a lifetime. Anytime a farm comes up for sale, it's usually once in a lifetime. There's some farms that sell multiple times, but not normally in Iowa. And 150, is that what you said?
150 years.
Yep. 150 years. Wow.
Tract 5 is 71.4 acres. It carries a CSR2 value of 89. The soils there have produced a history of 232 bushel corn yields and 74 bushel soybean yields. Property has good access again to that Highway 4 and is a part of that long-standing family heritage, also being in the family nearly 150 years. Track 6, as we move across basically kitty corner from Tract 5 as you're going around the map. Tract 5 itself, 6 is 78 acres. It has 75 tillable acres, carries a CSR2 value of 88.3.
Wow.
Great farm, again, carries a little lower APH, just over 200 bushels on corn as far as that goes. So still a good laying farm. Looks beautiful.
When nice Dave talks about farms that he likes to sell, flat, black, and square, this is an 80 that got good farmability, and 88 some CSR. That's this looks like a great farm.
Well, track 7's the sister farm. It's just to the south of this one. You could probably get both of these together and farm them any direction that you wanted to. Track 7 is 78 acres with roughly 75 tillable. Does have a little waterway going through that southwest corner of it. It's carrying another 88 CSR2 score, has the same APH as far as corn yields go itself. So very good farms there. I'd call those sisters right across the road from each other, track 6 and track 7. And then you get to, we said track 2 might be like the stepsister as far as that goes. It's pasture ground. This one's not pasture ground in tract 8. It is 80 acres, but it does have a unique field boundary. So it lays right next to the city of Yale, not a growing metropolis, so not necessarily looking at development potential. It is, like you said, only about 30 minutes from Des Moines, so there may be some aspects that go along with this. But tract 8 is 80 acres. It carries basically 100% tillable acres, has an almost 89-point CSR2 score, and has been producing good crops as well. It does have some 6-inch tile in it that's been laid, and I believe Dave has some of those maps as well to share. So kind of a rundown there. We have 8 tracks to sell today, all in Guthrie County, all between Bagley and Yale, for you that are familiar with the state of Iowa. We will get into a little bit here on what the revenue looks like for this year, coming off of it via cash rent. But Corey, as you think about farmland values in the state of Iowa, you sent me a tweet the other day that I thought was quite interesting that had to do with the boundaries of the state of Iowa.
Yeah, it was pertaining to, it was a heat map of the whole United States and land values across the whole United States. And immediately, as you cross from Nebraska into Iowa, Minnesota into Iowa, Illinois into Iowa, and Missouri into Iowa, there was a change in value. Meaning, the whole gist of this tweet was that Iowa has a brand, right? Because there's probably not very much difference between right on the border.
Yep.
That land on the Iowa side and the Minnesota side is that much different CSR wise, drainage wise, production wise. But as soon as you get Iowa behind it, now there might be some maybe taxes, there might be some political type things that sway the value. But I think as a whole, Iowa has a brand. It's known for very good farmland.
Yep. So as you look at the screen now, we went ahead and put that QR code up. Just a reminder, you can't bid on Facebook, you can't bid on YouTube or LinkedIn where you're watching us today. So as far as that goes, you need to head over to wmgauction.com if you are interested in bidding on these farms. We're just here to give you a little bit of a background before this auction starts, and then ultimately be able to kind of let you know what's going on during that sale as we sit here in our studio while they're auctioning these off in Guthrie County.
Right. And just a commercial here for Dave. I mean, if you are ever thinking about selling a farm, or if you're looking to buy a farm, talk to Dave. That guy is for you 100%. He will bend over backwards. He will market the crap out of your farm. Just go to their website and it'll prove you that guy doesn't sleep. I don't think. He was literally we were down in National Farm Machinery Show last week with him, and he was on the phone quite a bit, getting ready for this week. We got back Saturday night, and he immediately turned around, said hi to the family, and flew down to Arkansas for a marketing summit, just to learn how to market better. And Dave's one of the best, and had to get back to get prepared for this auction yesterday. They canceled his flight. Just, a lot of people would have just waited for the next one. Nope, he's got to be back. He rented a car and drove back through the night. I don't think he slept yesterday.
Wow. Yeah, that shows a lot of dedication. If you are looking for someone to represent you on your farm, whether it is you as a buyer looking to buy or those that are looking to sell, certainly look Dave up himself. So let's dive into a little bit of the cash rent that is available. So the leases have not been terminated on these farms for 2025. Okay. So they do have a tenant in place. I'm sure Dave will give us the official announcements before the auction starts as to whether that cash rent is prorated or if that all goes to the buyer. But ultimately, we are looking at some good Guthrie County cash rent income there. So let's see if I can get a screen share for folks to be able to see what we've got going on. We will start here with the disclosures. So hopefully all of you can see what's on our screen now. Just to give you a little bit of what Dave's going to cover when he does the announcements in his auction room before he goes live.
You think we should probably go to that when that happens?
Yeah, if we can get that pulled up and be able to get you logged in, that'll certainly be a focus of ours. So you keep an eye on when Dave comes up and starts making his announcements. We'll hit here high level, just kind of what you're seeing here. A lot of these are tract specific. So if you are going to bid on these, make sure you check out the disclosures yourself and pay a little bit more attention. What looks like here is there is access to rural water on a couple of the parcels if you are going to add structures to them once you've been purchased. However, most appear to be square, flat, and black, right? So probably not a lot of building options except for that tract number 2. There is Alliant and Midland and Interstate Power along some of these parcels as far as those go. A couple of the acreages are stated that they are going to be surveyed off, tracts 1 and tract 5. That will be at the seller's cost. If there are any more surveys put in place or required, that is done at the buyer's cost themselves. So quite interesting as you look at that. But now let's take a look at the cash rent. So as we stay in order of parcels, cash rent on that tract 1, all of these farms have a March payment and a September payment. So as seen there on your screen, you're looking at those first 3 tracts. Just off to the right-hand side of your screen is that town of Bagley. that we were talking about. Tract 1 has a March payment of a little over $23,000 and a similar payment in September. So Tract 1, that 155 acres, carries a total cash rent. You want to do the math on that? Total cash rent of just over 46,000
acres and how much?
So you're looking at 46,878 divided by 155.
$302.43.
Just over $300 an acre cash rent. That's not too bad as far as the revenue goes. Tract 2, that's that pasture piece. That's the lowest income producing piece, as that is put out there for you. It has $1,800 in total cash rent. Taking that divided by the 24 acres places that much less.
$75 an acre for some pasture. Which we don't get to see much of that. So I couldn't tell you whether that's great. I know when I was younger, you could rent pasture for $45 an acre.
Yep. As you look at the Tract 3, which is the easternmost portion up there by Bagley, you have cash rent of $23,894, and that is to be divided by the 79 acres. So $23,894 divided by the 79 acres.
Another $302.45.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of the similarities as we go through the rest of these parcels.
That's all right.
But that is a significant amount of income for someone looking to go ahead and invest in a farm, knowing that there's revenue starting right away that first year. So from right to left, as we're looking, Tract 4 is in the top right. It has total cash rent of $21,321, and it is a 70-acre parcel. 304.5, so just a little bit better cash rent on that. Tract 5 is roughly the same, so pretty darn close. Total payments $21,778, and it is 71 acres, so that looks to be pretty close to identical as we look at that. Wanted to point out that there is a payment as far as the feedlot goes. Obviously, that's going to be surveyed out. But I believe they need access for spreading of manure. So I don't want to stick that in there without those being included in the disclosure. That'll probably be more announcements that come from Dave as we get into that.
I think that's a great time to talk. We should probably put a disclosure out there that there's a lot of legal stuff here with this land stuff. This is just this broadcast particularly is just for entertainment purposes. Do not take any information that we're giving you. We're giving you the best information that we have off of Dave's website, but anything that Dave says today on the live recording at the auction supersedes anything that's printed on his auction and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Corey and I are not real estate professionals.
No.
We are podcasters and farmers ourselves. So we're more interested in this from the aspect of being able to watch and take those in as if we were sitting in that audience ourselves. So kind of neat as far as that goes itself. So kind of fun to be able to dive into this. You see there on the screen, we haven't talked about Tract 6 and 7 yet. But just doing the mental math, that looks to be a little over $300 an acre there in cash rent. And to give you the visual of the unique boundary to farm, that is now what is up on your screen. You can see there as well. That's the 80-acre parcel. Goes right around the Yale Cemetery. Are you scared of cemeteries?
Yeah, not anymore, but yeah, maybe back in high school there was.
You'd walk through a cemetery in the middle of the night?
No, I did that one time and it wasn't good. I got a bloody nose.
Oh,
yeah, that was weird.
Well, that shouldn't affect the value of this farm because you don't have to go through the cemetery to get in. It's got great access off of that highway number 4 as well. So the other cool piece that we have, I'll get us back here up on this screen. Drop that share. Get us back up there. The other cool thing is Dave is talking about through Whitaker Marketing Group is a very thorough individual. But he had a couple of extra benefits during this process that this farm was appraised. So a couple of these parcels were appraised by B&H Appraisal Services, LLC, Land and Farm Evaluation and Consulting Program. So there is an interesting comparison as to where these parcels are going to end up today. I believe this one that I've got pulled up on my screen right now is tract 1. So it's 156 acres according to the appraisal. Dave's got it listed at 155. Of course, that's more or less. That will be determined at the time of the sale. And
this is all available on...
Correct. Everything we're doing is pulling off of Whitaker Marketing Group's auction site.
WMGauction.com. You can go there. You can sign in, and you can bid from there, and you can get all this information that we're talking about. It's attached to the property.
So as I take a look here at this appraisal on that 156 acres comes in at $2,215,000, which is roughly $14,200 an acre.
Which, yesterday in Hardin County, that's 13.8 and 16. So
yeah,
pretty much hit it.
These appraisals were completed nearly a year ago. So for perspective, March of 2024.
And Dave, and we were at the Land Expo last month down in Des Moines, has said that, we're probably going to see a little bit of pullback in land prices. And I think everyone has been surprised that we haven't seen as much that we thought.
Yes, absolutely. Tract 3, so that's the 79 acres, came in with an appraisal of $1,105,000. That's just shy of $14,000 an acre. So interesting to see as those two farms lay less than 80 acres apart, the difference in value there just based upon those sizes and farms themselves. I'm curious, are you curious, Corey, about what that goofy shaped farm? I probably shouldn't be making fun.
Yeah, I don't think I would call it goofy. How
would you farm it north and south, or would you farm it east and west?
It looks like majority. Well, actually, I'd farm it both ways.
You would?
I would probably farm it both ways and then just make some headlands. But I mean, that's not goofy. You go to Southern Iowa, you want to find some, some goofy stuff. This is still. Yeah, there's some cutouts. There's some acreage as you're going around and things of that nature.
Well, the appraiser gave it no discount for the shape of the boundaries. It came in just shy of $14,200 an acre as well in that appraisal from a year ago. So we're sitting here at 9:51 Central Time. Dave is set to start his announcements about 10 o'clock this morning. Again, he and the Whitaker Marketing Group team are sitting out there in Guthrie County, just outside of where these farms actually are placed. I want to see here if we, Corey, can get them a view of the video that's been playing in the background of that auction that he is out there with his team being at. So let's see if I can share that with us today.
Terms that Dave uses a lot of times. CSR2 is corn suitability rate, and there used to be a corn suitability rate of 1, and now there's a corn suitability rate of 2. 7 years ago, Iowa redid that, and it's basically just to explain productivity and how takes into consideration things like soil properties, texture, how much water.
WMGauction.com. That's where you can register to bid and be able to go over there and potentially own yourself a piece of Iowa farm ground. I think it'd be a pretty good opportunity today.
This is an interesting development. They have bidding open online, and when we logged in at 9:30, they had a $6,000 bid. At 9:49, there was two other bids that came in at $7,000 and $8,000. So we're already at $8,000 an acre, and we haven't even started the auction yet.
That's right. Yeah, Dave's got his entire A team out there. Not that he has any B team players.
Yeah, B team's here.
The B team's sitting here in the studio.
Yeah.
But it's exciting to see. I'm recognizing a couple of faces there with Ann and Callan running the desk. We see Susanna and Ron looking like they're going to be fulfilling that ringman and ringwoman portion of the auction. It's always great to hear Dave put his chant together. Of course, several award-winning auctioneer himself as he puts this auction together and on for you today.
Susanna, all the way from California.
Yeah, what a reach.
Yeah.
What a great reach that we have there. It was interesting the amount, like we keep, obviously we enjoy working with Dave ourselves, but we keep bringing up the amount of information that he tries to provide. So again, if you head to WMGauction.com, you can see there loads of information is put forth for you. His auction flyers are, in my opinion, second to none and do a great job of providing you that information. What he sent to us, though, is as he prepared for the family, he had to find comparable farms and comparable sales that he had located in the area. So again, we're talking that Bagley, Jamaica, Yale portion of Guthrie County. Not quite as far west as Bayard, and like you said, north and west of Des Moines as you travel out and look on a larger map. So he's got comparable sales coming from Dallas County and Guthrie County. And according to his average, out of these 12 farms that he had sold, the median price per acre there is $11,303. But with his adjustment for the quality of the CSR2 score and the farmability of these, he's got his average in at 14,100. So I don't know if that's like an announcer in a basketball game talking about a shooter's free throw percentage right before they miss a free throw, or if it's a way to really put Dave in his professional abilities on track to see how this auction finishes out today.
I've got some history here for Guthrie County for average corn yields put out by Iowa State University, the extension office there. So Guthrie, this is through 2023, carrying a 204.9 bushel average over the last 7 years. Actually, check that. 204.9 was 2023. 191 was the 7-year average. Now remember, we had a derecho year in there of 130.6 bushels per acre, so that really drug it down. 234 in 2021 was the high. Soybeans, 2023 is 57.1. It has a 7-year average of 55.4. Highest year was 67.1 in 2021 and 41.9 in 2020. So even that 130 mile an hour wind really took its toll on, because I think it basically kind of started in that Guthrie area. That, and it got real dry that year.
Yeah, certainly. I'm just working over here, managing the technology that typically Dave does for us to be able to get that live announcements here in the next couple of minutes.
I tried getting Dave to hop on for a quick pregame interview. I see him watching him on video. He's running around like crazy between sips of Red Bull.
It says his announcements. Scroll up on the announcements. The blue.
At 10 o'clock, it said.
Yeah, scroll up even more.
Please refresh your screen to see audio and video. We will begin the auction at 10.
So I refreshed and I don't have it pulled. It's not coming back up for me.
For you? Well, I have it here.
But there's no sound.
Click.
Yep.
There.
So this is how you know that this production is
probably because
live.
you're live on there.
Well, you still don't have any sound.
I have sound. I just have it down.
Okay, good. We'll just play through yours. I'll bring in a second microphone around so we'll be able to hear that. And then I can put the video up. Oh, I can't put the video up.
Now we're losing some bandwidth. Wonder if I should go to audio only.
All right. I have not been checking Dave's platforms to be able to see if anybody had questions, but you are certainly welcome to send messages in to be able to hit his platforms. We will monitor those ourselves.
I'm going to go to his platform. Let's go to...
I'm on the Whitaker Marketing Group Facebook page. We have no questions there at this time.
I'm just going to do a sound check to Facebook. If anyone is listening on Facebook, can you hear the music? Oh, they just killed the music. So, well, no. So, never mind. Oh, he's about ready to start. Let's listen in. Tell us on Facebook whether you can hear his audio or not.
All right. Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get started here. If you haven't got a bid number yet and you intend on bidding today, make sure you go to the back of the room, talk with Emily, and Emily will get you set up for bidding, and you do need a bid number to bid today. Thank you, one and all, for coming. It is a cold day out there today, but appreciate you making your way. Of course, we're here to sell some farmland today. I'm going to run order business, make a couple announcements. There are a bunch of different announcements, so if you want to pay attention to those, pay attention to those. If not, if you keep chatter to a minimum, that'd be great. And then we'll get right into selling. We'll establish high price, and we'll say sold. So I guess we'll start off, and Callan will have it on the screen here too. We're Whitaker Marketing Group, IowaLandGuy.com, kind of cut across the state of Iowa, all the way from Washington over to Red Oak, Carroll. We got a couple different agents across the state. Our primary business is selling farmland. So if this is the first time you've been to one of our auctions, welcome. Thank you for coming. That is what we'd like to do. If we can ever help you with farmland, we'll definitely give us a call. Appreciate the family and working with the trust and the attorneys on this one as well. So today we're here for 635.91 acres, more or less. You got investment potential. It's a good land farms, not too far from Yale, Iowa, and we're not too far from Panora. I'm going to burn through these announcements because most 90% of you don't listen to the announcements anyway. So on the next slide that he's going to go to, we're going to go to location of land. Of course, we're located right around Yale. There's a couple up towards Bagley on 141 as well. You can see the directions. You guys know where they're at. Next up, we're going to go to legal descriptions just for the video. Legal descriptions are as follows. The actual legal will be taken from the abstracts. Now, we got a tight closing on this one. The abstracts are already at the office. They're already being brought up to date. All the title work is being taken care of. So at every auction, everybody asks, are you going to sell gross acres? Are you going to sell tillable acres, farmland acres, assessed acres? Are you going to do taxable acres? Are you going to do farmland, cropland acres? What are you going to do? This one, we had already had an appraisal on it, so we are using the appraised acres on this one, but just for semantics, I call it a selling multiplier. There's lots of different acres. The selling multiplier today is as follows: 155.13 all the way down to 80 acres on the last track that is there. Now, if you got an original flyer, there is two amendments to this, and that is going to be the two that had surveys on them. That's going to be tract 4, where there's an acreage, and tract 1, where there's an acreage. They vary just ever so slightly, but not much. Okay, moving on. Tillable acres. Now, you be the judge of where tillable acres are. A lot of use the FSA 156 in your brochure. We'll give you FSA numbers on that as well. These numbers here come from Sure Mapping System, one of our trusted resources that we have. If you have different numbers, that's all right. 150 on the first one, all the way up 79.51. That's follows. Tile maps. Here's what I know with tile maps. You got tile maps that want to get thrown. So you actually gained about a half acre on this one. Okay, next one, track 6. If there's inlets on there, you can see where they're at. Go ahead, track 7 and 8. Just to give you a picture of what that looks like. So if you want more on the tile maps, like I said, we recreated all the hand-drawn. We do have a packet of all the hand-drawn maps in the back. If you're the successful buyer, you will get all those, but then we wanted to recreate them so you guys had a picture of what that looked like. All right, let's move forward to zoning, farm tenancy. So everything's zoned A1 agriculture, farm tenancy. All 8 tracks are currently leased out for the 2025 year. So you're going to be buying subject to that lease. Buyer will receive the cash rent for the 2025 season, and the 2026 lease termination will be executed. So you'll have open tenancy for 2026. What I don't have is, can you put on anhydrous in the fall yet? I do not know the answer to that. I hope to get that for you after you're the successful bidder. Now there is one discrepancy. If you're looking in your brochure, originally we wrote that it was a March and a September payment. I just went and rechecked the leases. It is not March and September. It's March and December. December 1st. So instead of September as the second payment, you're going to get that second payment December 1st. Okay. So that is one difference that was advertised in the sale bill. Cash rent. Hey, so now it's rented out for this year. What are we going to do here? There's about $200,000 to be had. If you look through your packet here, it's going to show what we did is we just took tillable acres, prorated it for every tract. So there's no, is it gross acres? Is it tillable? How they doing it? FSA cropland. This is what we're going to call fact. Okay. So tract 1. March payment, not September. It's going to be December payment. You're going to get $46,878.27. If you buy tract 1, track 2, $900, you get $1,800 on track 2. Track 3, you're going to get $23,894.34. Go ahead to the next one. Next one, track 4 and 5, $21,321.
Well, and we are buffering.
Yeah, but it is interesting. The announcements that he's made, like I said, everything that he says at his sale will supersede any information that is printed, one, or that we state here on our little broadcast. But as he stated here, the auction itself, the cash rent payments are not March and September. They are March and December as far as that goes. And I think he made that very clear.
Yep, he made it clear. That's why all the announcements the day of the sale supersede anything that was printed beforehand. Trying to get this back. How do I just go to audio?
No, that's a good question. The whole thing itself looks like it has stopped streaming. Whether that's on our end or on his end, it's always difficult doing remote auctions like this as well. But I'm excited for Dave. I'm excited for the opportunity for all the buyers out there to be able to jump in and have yourself the opportunity to buy Iowa farm ground, and some of the best farm ground out there is what it looks like.
Our feed's still going, right?
Yes, I believe so. Give her a check. I will have yourself.
Yep. I am going to message them.
We'll go ahead and pull that down. I'll see if I can get them pulled up on my cell phone as well.
So when you're doing these auctions out in rural, I know Dave has invested a lot of money into that. It's very frustrating when you can't get the live feed, you can't get the audio. So it could be something. I think he's got Starlink because a lot of the bandwidth at some of these remote locations just isn't there. It's a lot of data that's going downloading and uploading.
That is correct. And as you said, the current bid on the choice style auction is $8,000 per acre.
Any luck on your phone? They haven't messaged me back here. Couldn't load live stream.
No. So as you go to auctions, Corey, do you have a preferred method of bidding? Are you the guy that waves his hand big and tall, sits in the front of the room? You like the old secret?
Oh, I mean, to be honest, I've never bought at a live auction before, so I haven't bought that many pieces of ground.
So if you were to bid,
if I were to bid, well, I've bid a couple times. We should say that. I guess I'm probably the middle guy. I'm just a nodder or a, but I'm not hiding it by any means. But it is an interesting dynamic. I've seen people go to an auction and pull their phone out and bid online
Sure.
while they're at the auction.
Sure.
Then you got the people that are just, they want you to know that their hand's in the air. And then, yes, you got the little, or maybe a wink. Usually those are the guys that buy a lot.
Right. So I've got a dark screen as well on my cell phone. So it says can't load live stream. So I'm sure he'll get that fixed up as quickly as he can. He's got all the experts, all the folks there to make sure that gets back up and running for you, especially if you're looking to bid online. If it comes up for
About
you,
a day or two, that doesn't work in this scenario. This one has to close by March 21st. Okay, so if you want in on that, just make sure that you know that I fully disclose that that's how it's going to go down.
Fancy little stand.
We have already got all the abstracts updated, title opinion, title search, everything is ready to rock on behalf of the attorneys. So I'm ready to give you that abstract today. If your bank needs it for appraisal or something, we're good to go. Possession be granted, of course, subject to the lease, but at the day of closing. More legal here for you. Whitaker Marketing Group, our team stipulates that we represent the seller exclusively in this transaction. We act as the auctioneer, auction company, and as the real estate brokerage. Winning bidder, you guys, you all acknowledge, including you guys online, that you represent yourself exclusively in this transaction and that you've done your own diligence. All information contained in any of the brochures have been gained from reliable sources. However, make sure that you do your own inspection. All property sold as is, where is basis, no warranties, guarantees expressed or implied, made by the realtor or the seller. All map boundaries are approximate. Example, we move that one line right next to the tract 4 for that acreage. They're approximate. Okay. All bidding increments are made at sole discretion of us today. I'll probably drop down to $100, but that's probably the last. We're not going to break down any more than that, and we'll start low and let you all go. Online bidding, for those of you that are online, if you click in the upper left-hand corner, you can probably hear me, but you might not be able to see us. Upper left-hand corner, it says View Auction Today. Before you registered to bid, for those of you that are online, you click the button. You already accepted all these terms and conditions, and hopefully you read right through them because you will be held to them. Server, software, technical issues, just in case. We got a pretty good connection today that's going out there, but if for some reason the video feed stops or the audio feed stops, we do not want to hang you out high and dry. There is a phone number that's being typed right now into the chat. Look at the chat on your lower left corner of your screen, and there is a phone number. Should ring 4 or 5 of our phones in the room today. If for some reason you want us to stop or need a break, make sure you give that a call. All right. Thanks to our seller. Hey, this is a 150-year family farm, Schlupka Trust, Vernon and Francis. We are delighted to work with the family, and this has been a long-standing. You guys don't, you know it. That's why you're all here. You don't see this very often. 100-plus years on this, and I got the opportunity to sell a whole lot of assets, from cattle to cars to airplanes to farmland, and there is more emotion in farmland, as you all know, than any other asset that I've ever sold.
Sorry about that.
So thanks to the sellers. It's always an emotional day, and kudos to your father for putting this whole package together. All right, so today, tract 1, we're going to go right to the next slide, and on that slide, it's just going to say, again, our selling and how we're going to do it. We're going to put them all in the ring at the same time, however you want to bid. If you want them all,
the 9,000.
I'll say it one more time. If you want them all, then I'm going to establish a high price, say 10,000, 11, 12, 13. If you say sold, which ones would you like? You choose which ones you'd like. If you say I would like all of them, auction's over.
I'm on what page?
It's going to be times the money, the selling multiplier.
His selling
if you just want tract 1, whatever that high price is, times the money, times the money, times the
Facebook.
money. Okay?
Facebook.
We could have 8 auctions. We could have 1. Yesterday, at sale yesterday, there was 1,300 acres that
every auction needs donuts.
And, they took it all. So if you're waiting for that one tract, don't wait.
No.
If it breaks. I really have no reason to take a break today. Typically, what we do, we call the seller, we establish that it's going to sell. I'm here to tell you it's here to sell. Okay? It's here to sell. I really don't need to take a break unless you guys need to take a break. So if you want a break, a couple people have called and asked, and online bidders have asked as well. I'm more than happy to take a break. I'm just going to stand at the front of the room and have a coffee and cookies from Farm Credit, just like you guys. Thanks to Matt Hauser, his whole team, Farm Credit, the Perry office, all Farm Credit offices. They supplied us with cookies and coffee, and always appreciate you guys. Thanks to law firm on this one as well. With a lot of people we're working with on this one to make it go. I see a handful of other realtors and comrades in the room as well. Thank you for attending. Again, we are Whitaker Marketing Group. On my right over here is Susanna Underwood from California. She is a guest auctioneer with me today, and she flew all the way out to help us today, so appreciate you being here. Callan's going to help you with some computer screen stuff. Ron on my left here from Des Moines. Brian is going to be a new agent that works for us. Mary Lee is up towards Hampton, Iowa. She's an agent up there, also sells little chicken litter if you'll go up that way. In the back, you would have saw Emily back there, and then my partner and founder here on my right is and my wife, Amber's our office manager. Now, with these monitors, there's one thing here. Callan, can you do this once? If all I did for these monitors, I wanted to just go a little high tech for you in case you're like, which one did they buy? Callan, make them buy tracks 5 and 6 today. So if somebody buys tracks 5 and 6, he's going to put it in there. You see they're colored. Those ones are sold. Okay, after we say sold, they're not reopened at all again. I just left this as a visual for you. Go ahead and sell tracks 6 and 7. Sell 6 and 7, you'll see it'll come up. When they sell, I just wanted a visual for you that if you now track 6 and 7 are sold, okay? They're all going to be on the screen at the same time. You'll see what's sold if you buy them individually. So if for some reason you're buying them individually, that's what you'll have. Give me 1 second.
I just asked Dan that.
I think we're ready to go there. We do look like we have some absentee place bids too. If anybody needs anything else, what do I miss here, Ann? Anything? Okay, I think we'll get started then. We're going to start low, let everybody go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to start. So everything's in the ring. And if you want to bring them all into the ring online, we'll do that. And you guys tell me how you want to buy it. Tile on this one. Square, flat, and black is like tall, dark, and handsome. I always say it. These are good CSRs. These are good soil types. Good production on these farms as well. Been 200 plus on most of them. If you look in the auctioneer's notes on the first page of your brochure, you will see the yields in there as well. Thanks to both the tenants on this one getting us yields on that. I know some guys don't like to disclose that, but it goes to reason. If you are the farmer, if I ever asked you for the yields, please give them, because the would-be buyers are going to want to know. And it's not anything different, just production of the farm, like a Carfax report. Here we go. Let's sell $8,000. We'll start there.
All right.
All right, hands in the
So
air.
he's starting at $8,000 an acre as far as that goes. He's jumping into this auction right now. We appreciate everybody jumping on. Right now,
Kurt, we can't add Dave's screen. We've tried it. We didn't have enough. Tanner doesn't have enough on his computer, so I'm pulling it off the audio off my computer. Since we're uploading to you, there's technical difficulties that no one has gotten. You know, we can test as much as we want until it actually is time. So $10,000 an acre is what he's at. And just to say, you cannot bid on this platform here. You have to go to wmgauction.com or iowalandguy.com and go sign in, and that's where you're going to be bidding. So, wow, 13,000.
13 jumped to 14, asking $14,000 an acre. Corey, we've got some really good fans here that are good to us. Every good auction needs cookies, donuts, and coffee. And we got a friend that brought us some donuts. I don't know if I'm going to eat them on camera, but I appreciate that.
Thank you, Bill Thomas, for bringing that, who also helps Dave out quite a bit.
All right, 14,000's already the bid. Remember what that appraisal was? The appraisal
right there,
14.1, 14.2.
So, do you think that they're bidding right now to take one or all, or some?
I don't think you take all because of that piece of pasture ground.
Oh.
Yeah,
maybe someone really wants that pasture ground.
That's true. This bid right here could be for the pasture ground. If you're looking for an acreage to buy,
buildable,
you get a pretty cheap lot. Remember that
15.5 asking 16.
So here's track 2. It's on the highway right outside of Bagley.
It's online. The bidder is online.
Current bidder is being bid online.
15,750 winning.
16. I took it out here, internet. You got to be 16,000 internet. I took it in the crowd first. 16. I'm down here. I got 15,750.
15,750 in the room. This is going to be a lot of fun to be able to see what this sale puts together, to see how things get purchased. We're going to see large chunks go, or we're going to sell each farm individually.
16,000.
You're listening to what, number 3 in the world auctioneer? I think Dave's got to. He hasn't quite got to number 1. He's won a lot of contests.
A lot of state contests. That's correct.
How is the audio compared to ours? You want him to turn it down a little bit, or is that good for you?
I am scrolling through these farms for you. He did mention those tile maps as he talked about during the introduction. Zoom in there a little bit for you. Identifying where that clay tile is according to what they had for resources, as well as the most recent tile that's been installed. So it does have a little bit of pipe under the ground.
He is at 16. He did get 16.
There's 150 people here. 16-1.
150 people in that room. I'm kind of glad we're sitting here in the studio. I bet you that room is packed clear full.
$16,100. 16,000. I'll bring it down a notch. 16-1. 16-1. 16-1. Opportunity is knocking. 16-1. 16,100.
Asking 16-1 here. Good.
All right.
$16,000.
Yep, that's fine.
16-1. Bidder number 5016, you're in the lead. All right, 16-1. 16. Now going to be what? Bids online. 16-1.
Is that you? Do you got the bid, Corey?
No. Hand is off the bid button.
Does anybody need a break? I told you we were going to move right along. I got 16-1 with a good man on the internet. 16-1. Does anybody need a break?
So if you were to buy
16-1.
all of it, you're looking at $10,174,560 right now.
Where did you do that math? In your head?
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. 16-1. Got it.
Got in the room.
In the room.
16-2. I got 16-1 right here in Panora. I'm 16-2. I'm 16-1. Not 2.
So are you on Dave's page?
I'm on.
Now you're on Dave's page.
For which one? I'm on WMGauction.com is where I'm getting
your comments is what
live audio. I'm on Facebook. Whitaker Marketing's live on my phone. Checking the comments.
Old corn went up, guys. 16-2. I got a couple smiles. 16-2.
Oh, jeez.
I'm down 16 here to where.
Typical auction. Old corn went up, guys. Should pull up. Is it? It probably is up today.
Right here, 16-1.
So you looks like you're on Dave's personal page. I'm on the auction page. That pasture piece is wet. Comes from Noah Taylor, and will be 6 to 10 feet of water. You would probably not want to build a house on it.
Yeah, you build a slab on grade.
Put it up on stilts. We stayed in a riverside Airbnb down by Louisville.
Before I go.
Yeah.
16-1. Going 2.
Corn is up today, up 2 to 3. Beans are up 10 to 12.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that for our listeners outside the area. I'm currently sitting at 0 degrees.
Dave's getting excited. Sold. 16-1 in the room.
Buyer 116. Buyer 116.
See.
Take track 5. Takes track 5.
Track 5.
You're directing your attention up on the screen. You're going to see it turn blue. Probably.
So they didn't take it all.
Track 5 should be sold. Track 5 is sold. $16,100.
So track 5, as you see on your screen here,
we'll do it again.
Track 5 is 71.4 acres, more or less. It's just got an acreage carved out of it. That one is 68 tillable acres. As we talked about, it is just outside of Yale. So that's one of those on the southern portion of this group. Did you make a note of that? Track 5 sold for $16,100.
Got it.
Started the auction back over at $9,000.
A lot of hooping and hollering from the room.
On 10, now going to be 11 here.
So track 5 is now out of the ability to be purchased.
Yep. Yeah, unlike some auctions, they'll hold it. That is sold.
$12,000. You got 11, 12 online, and not going to be 13, sir. On 13, on 12, not going to be 13, on 12 and 13.
Got 12, got to be 13.
That is probably something that would have helped our broadcast is sitting here is to go out and see the lay of these farms. Dave does a great job in his marketing flyers to be able to give us as much information as we can, but that's the same thing for these online bidders. Make sure you bid early, bid often, and do your homework before you click bid.
13, $14,000. I'm 14, way in the back, y'all out. I'm $14,000 and better than $14,000. 13 right here, Susan's way. I'm 13, 14. I'm $13,000, 14, $14,000 and better than $14,000 and better than 14. I'm 13, 14. I'm 13, $14,000 and better than $14,000 and better than 14. Up back in. I'm 14, 14, 14, 14, $14,000 and better than $14,000 and better than 14. I'm 13, asking 14,000. 13. I got 14 online. Good bidder. 14. Somebody bid 15. I'm 14. 15. I'm 14 down.
That track 5 is the farm that had that feedlot right next to it, that acreage on the corner. So I wonder if there's any incentive for the livestock being right next door for that being the first parcel that got picked.
Manure is a big factor in a lot of farm purchases, especially when you get in Northwest Iowa. To have a place to go with manure, to have a cheaper source of fertilizer. It's a really good source of fertilizer, and it's probably it might have a little bit of manure history.
Certainly could in that soil samples and nutrients. We do have a $15,000 bid now on this second round of auction.
Yep.
That does surpass the appraised value of that 14.1 and 14.2 figure. So you can see which pieces get picked next.
Looks like, at least online, I can't see the people bidding in the room. A lot of it's the same person that was bidding on the first track.
Yep.
15-1.
15-1 in the room. The first
15-2 online.
First one sold for 16-1, correct?
16-1, yep. 15-3 in the room. 15-4 online.
I got 15-4 on the net. Not going to be 500. I'm 15. Get 5. I'm 15. Somebody bid 500. Now 600.
BJ Hoffman left us a comment. Says, I use cashrent.io per the suggestion of Farm for Profit. Added drone footage, and that drone video enhanced his profitability. Drone technology for the win.
Boy, they're going back and forth online in the room.
At $100 increments, correct?
$100 increments, 15-7, 15-8 online.
Yes, Roger. Corey and I, if you look there on your screen, down there in that little small window, are sitting here in studio. If you want the live, uninterrupted chant, you need to go to WMGauction.com. We're here providing commentary over Dave's auction. Currently sitting at $15,800 is the bid. It is online.
Yep. If you want to bid, if you want to see Dave do his magic, WMGauction.com, IowAlandGuy.com. Scroll down, go to this auction in Guthrie County. I don't think you have to sign in to see the live feed, but if you want to bid, you definitely have to sign in.
Online's in the lead at 15-8.
$9,900 Anybody else want it? 15-8, 15-9, 15,900.
It was in the room. It's 15-8 online.
Great farms here. 15-9. Don't miss the opportunity. It's been 100 years plus since they've sold.
100 years plus.
We're all going to be dead before they sell again.
Once in a lifetime.
15-9. Now's your opportunity. Doesn't matter what interest rates are. Doesn't matter what corn prices are. We're long go on this one, guys. 15-9. 15-8, 15-9. 15,900. 15,900 down.
Oh, he's getting excited. You can hear it.
15,800, 900. 15,800, 900. 9. Sold to farm, 15,800 online.
15.8 online. What are they going to take?
There'll be a screen that pops up. You get to pick. Please check the box of which tract you would like to buy. 15,800 gallon, $15,800 is the price, and they are picking right now.
So
First
the auction,
bidder was in the room at 16.1.
5016.
This came in at 15,800, and I've got the auction flyer here pulled up. As soon as we find out which parcels are, remember tract 5 is off limits.
you copy and paste the website hyperlink. Yeah, I probably can. Is that not clickable? Can we copy and paste the auction website hyperlink into the comments?
Got him on the phone as well. He's going to make sure he
So
picks the right
the
one.
auction could be over at this point. They could take the all remaining tracks for 15.8, or they can select one or any multiple of the remaining ones except for tract 5.
Doug might have beat me to it, but it is now in the comments twice.
He did. Good job, Doug.
We freeze up again? No?
No, they're just selecting. It's quiet. They got him on the phone as well.
Sounds like he's going to take tract 8.
Tract 8 is now gone.
there.
Hey, that's my favorite tract. Tract 8 is the one outside of Yale. That's the 80 acres right outside of
So it looks
town.
like tract 8 is going to be sold.
No, the one that you said it was you didn't know which direction you would farm it.
That's right.
That's a good farm.
That should show on your board. Might be a different color. There's our 2 that are sold, guys. Tract 5 is sold. Tract 8 is sold. The rest are now going to go back in the ring.
So that was the last tract. So we have tract 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7.
That's correct. Should open up a spreadsheet.
Okay, 2 of them are sold.
This
We're
color.
going to put all the rest of the tracks back in the ring. Give us 1 second. Here they come. All right, so all the tracks are back in the ring. You got track 1, track 2, track 3, track 6, 7, and track 4 are left. Here we go. 7,000. All right, 807 here, down 8 there. Thank you.
Here we go again.
9, thank you. Here 10, 10, 10, 10. I'm somebody bid 10. I'm 9.
Somebody bid.
10. Got 10 there. Now 11. I didn't get you internet. 11, 12. Here 12. 11. Not going to be 12. 11, 12, 12, 12. 11, 12. 11. Not going to be 12. 11. Now somebody bid the 12.
Tanner's most favorite saying. This calls for a spreadsheet.
11,000. Not 12. Not 12. 12, 12, 12. 11, 12. 11. Not going to be 12. 11, 12 online. And not going to be 13 crowd. $13,000.
WMGauction.com if you want to watch Dave in the live stream, if you want to bid. Guthrie County, Iowa for some prime Iowa farm ground. I have 6 of the 8 tracks remaining.
13, 14. Hey, Joel, how you doing? 13, 14, $14,000. Got 13,000. Need 14. Go 5. 13. Give 5. I'm 13. Somebody bid the 5 here. 13,500. I'm 13. Give 5. I'm 13. 5. 5. 5 of the money. 13,500. 13,500. I'm 13,005. I'm 13. Give 5 here.
It's kind of neat. We got Mission Central set up in here. Typically, we do our recordings with a giant TV and TV stand. Dave's got a couple of those on display at the auction. Certainly putting his best foot forward for this sale.
He is putting a lot of time and effort and money into marketing this farm. He's one of the best when it comes to marketing farms.
At 160, he's looking pretty good right now. 13,500. 13,500. Buy them both, guys. 13 here.
13 in the room is winning, asking 13.5. I do appreciate Dave's cadence in auctioning and how clear he is. There's a lot of auctioneers that have good rhythm, but it's kind of like, where are they at? You know, it's kind of hard.
sir. 14, somebody bid 5. 14, 5, 5, 5 of the money. 14, 5, 5, 5 of the bottom. 14,500. 14, 5, 5. Susan's way. 14,500.
Susan's got the good side of the room. She seems to be getting a significant number of the bids.
$500. Lower down a little for you. 14,500. 14,000. Somebody bid 5. I'm 14. Give 5. I'm 14. Here to bottom of the bottom.
So he's got 14 in the room. Online has been absent for the last 3 bids since 12,000.
Help you out. 14, 1, 2. I'm 14, 1. Now going to be 2. I'm 2, 3 here to.
So 14, 1, 14, 2 in the room. So he's at appraised value.
Right at appraised value again.
I got 14, 2 on my right side. You guys are all out. 14, 3. 14, 3. I'm 14, 2's there. 3's where? I'm 14, 2 here to 3 in the money. 14, 3. I got 14, 2. Give 3.
As a reminder, track 5, which is up on your screen, that was the just shy of 72 acres on the northwest of Yale. It's got that feedlot acreage carved out of the corner, is no longer available, as well as tract 8, which is closest to the town of Yale, right next to that cemetery that I made fun of. It is no longer available as well. Tract 5 sold for 16.1. Tract 8 sold for
he's got an
15.8.
announcement.
I work with a company called Boasafra Agriculture, and you can write off the nutrient load in any new farm you buy. Average in Iowa is about $1,700 an acre. Take $1,700 times all of this ground. If you wanted to buy it all, there's $1 million write-off if you have that adjusted gross income you want to write off. If you don't know how to do it, come and talk to me. About $1,700 an acre is what you can write off average. They got to get a soil sample, come out. So if you're thinking, man, that seems expensive, write off another $1 million. Okay? What you got? 14.4. Give 5. 14.5. 14.4. Little tax advantage here. 14.5. I'm 14,400 here in bottom of the bottom of the right side's in the lead. 14.5. Do her again. I'm 14.5 here in bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the 14,500 out of it, 14.5. Don't y'all come at once. 14.5. He did. Now 16. I'm 4, 4, 5, 6 here.
Your bid history is showing this is all these last bids have been made in the room.
Yes,
right.
Online has been absent since 12,000 still. 14.6 in the room.
I'm 14,600, $700 out of it, at 7. I got 14,600 over here. Now 7. 14,700. I'm 14,600 and 700, 607 here, 700 out of it, at now 7. I'm 14,600 and 700, $700 down, at 7. I'm 14,600 and now 7. I'm 14,600
I honestly thought some more people might take multiple tracks.
700. What do you want to do?
So we might be here all day.
He's thinking, hold on. 14,600. Somebody bid 7. 14,700.
That's all right. It's fun to watch auctions.
14,800. 14,800.
14.8 in the room. We still got probably an hour or two to go to Dave's record.
That is the difference. This farm's being sold choice, not multi-par. Multi-par can be confusing. It does provide the seller the most opportunity for the highest dollar figure, but usually causes a lot of frustration in the room because the sales take so long. This choice is pretty clear. You bid until you stop bidding, and you get to choose which farm you buy. 14.9.
15 in the room.
15,000. What do you want to do here? 15,1. $15,000. Not going to be 15,100. 15,000's bid. 15,1. 15,1. On down 15,100. Here to money. 15,1. 15,100. I'm 15,100. 15,000's bid. 15,1. And now 2.
15,1 in the room. That is mighty strong.
15,1 and 2. I'm 15,1. Now going to be 2.
I don't think Dave can lose his voice. He practices too much.
I'm 15-2s, now going to be 3. I'm 15-2s here, there, 3 where now. 3. I'm 15-2, 2. I'm 15,300. Slow as we go, we'll get there. 15-3, 15-2, 15-3.
15-2 in the room, asking 15-3.
I'm down 3. 15,200, 300 there. I'm 15-2, now going to be 3. I'm 15-2, now 3. I'm going to give you all the time you need. You're still thinking 15-3. 15-3. I got 2, give 3. You get back in, yes, sir. 15-3. I'm 15-2-3. I'm 15-2. Now going to be 3-3. 3-3. Help 4. Here to 4. 15-4. I'm 15-3's there. 4's here. Down 4. Here to 4 to the internet. You can play 2. I'm 15-4. Susan's way. Now 15-5. I'm 15,500. I'm 4. Now going to be 5. I'm 15-4. 4, 5, 5. You can take all the rest if you want. 15-4. Somebody bid 5. Somebody bid 5. I'm 15-4. Down 5. Down 5 at the bottom of the day.
The first 2 tracks, track 5 sold for 16.1 and track 8 sold for 15.8.
15-5. 15-4. Now going to be 5 here to bottom of the day. Here to bottom of the
6 tracks remaining. It's getting excited again. 15-4 in the room.
15-6. And now 6. I'm 15-5's there. 6 here. I'm $500, $600. $7 here. 700. 15 cents. Don't let it get away, sir. 15-7. 15-7. 15-7. On down 7. Here to 7. 7. 7. 6 7. 6 7. 6 7. 7. 15. 607. I'm 15. 600. Now 7. I'm 15. 600. Round the ring. Here to 15. 600 and 700. 700. Not a bit. Not and bearded and 7. 700. I'm 15. 600. 700. Not down. Bearded and bearded and 7. 7. 6 7. I'm 15. Give 7. I'm 15. 600. Now 700. 800. I'm 700. 800. 800. Here to 8. Keep her going.
15-8. Asking 15-8. 15-7 in the ring.
And 15-8. That's where we stopped at that last partial 8.
15-8 in the room. We should be gambling on what track's going to go next.
15-9. I feel like the 160 acres up there. I think that's track number 1 is my bid.
I think it's going to be the 78 acres, the square 80. What track number was that?
Here's the deal. If you didn't know,
track
I'm going to be a podcast host with Farm for Profit
7?
Podcast. My other 2 co-hosts are actually live streaming this right now. If you guys want to go back, you can watch it. They're giving commentary on the whole auction. So 15-8. If you boys are online, thanks for doing that. 15-8. On the right side.
That's called a professional stall.
Not going to be 900, sir.
That is.
15-9. Check out Farm for Profit Podcast. 15-9, sir. I'm 15-9.
Track 6.
Here we go. 900.
That's what I think's going next.
9. I'm 15-8. Are you done?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
800, 900. Gotta go.
So I think it's this track 1, 155 acres that's playing right now on the screen.
I think that's a large chunk of money. That's a good one.
15-8 on my right side. Sir, you want back in?
No.
15-900. Gotta go. I'm 15-800, 900 here to 999 here now 999. I'm now 9. I'm 15-800. They're still thinking. Hold on here. 15-8-9. I'm 15-800, 900 here to 999.
On that pasture, there's a little bit of a working area there.
Last call. 15-800, 900. Ron, they done? 15-9.
So you're not talking track 3.
Round ring. So 15,800 on my right side.
15,800.
All right, my money's on track 6. Let's see what goes. What's your money on, Tanner?
1 and 3.
Track
1
1.
and 3 are picked in.
Wow. 1 and 3. So I was right.
Online bidders, Callan, 1 and
Half
3
right.
are going to be gone as well. So now tracks 5, 1, 3, and 8 are sold, and we're going to have 3 tracks left. 4 tracks left. Side note, track 2, I would have Nation called. They said if anybody wants to buy that and would like to sell it to them, give a call. They can do. I don't know if they're here today. I think I did see them actually.
What was that announcement?
But if not, you might be able to put a deal together if you want to take it all.
It cut out. What is track?
the message?
Go to track 2.
And you ready to go?
Go on the screen, track 2.
All right, got 6,000, 7,000 to start. Hey, we got 2 fantastic tracks here. This one's got a lot of tile on it. Track number 4, some of the best yield reported were track 4.
So as you look on your screen, track 1 and track 3. So track 3 is just south of the pasture, outside of Bagley. That is 79 acres. And then as you look, track 1 was the 155 acres.
Going again. Track 2, 4, 6, and 7 are still available.
What was the finishing bid on that? Was that also 15-8?
15-8. WMGauction.com if you want to watch the live stream of the auction and if you want to bid. Also, Iowa Land Guy will get you there. A little more action online here.
$11,000. Show them the bullhorns, boys. $11,000. $11,000.
Tract 3 was 79 acres.
12,000. Not going to be 13 here. 13. I took my man internet. You're out. Going to be 13. On 12 there. 13 here.
12 in the room.
13. 12. 13. On 12 down. $13,000.
Yeah.
13. Susan, you're all out. I got 12 over here. I'm down 13. Internet, you're all
Well,
out.
the
150
155 acres. Tract 1 was 160. Yeah, that was one up by Bagley. Tract 1 and 3 with the pasture across the road. Yeah. So tract 2 is still available. That is the pasture. Tract 4, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Did you get any clarification on what?
Not yet.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Ann or Callan. Those are the two that I'm looking at. I also know Brian's there on a computer.
On the east side of this one, grain bin set up 14,000. Go ahead. 14.
13 online. So online came up $1,000 from the last time.
14 grand. 14. How was wrestling? 14 down.
Now we're talking wrestling.
14. 13,000. Give 5. 13. 5. Would you? Sure you would. 13. Give 5. Here to Bob money.
Clarification on what Dave said on track 2 where the audio cut out. They did not say specifically, but he said Iowa Natural Heritage said that they would be interested in talking to the buyer of track 2.
Okay, that's the pasture ground. We had a commenter state that pasture can be wet, so that might be a couple of factors that would play into the Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation's interest.
Allie's watching. Hello, Allie.
I got 13.5, asking 14. 13.5, 14. 13.5 hands should be swinging men. Get aboard. $14,000.
13.5 asking 14.
13.5 here to 14.
13.5 is in the room.
14 down 14. 13.5, 14 down 14.
Previous tracks have sold track 5 for 16.1, track 8 for 15.8, track 1 and 3 for 15.8. 13,750 online.
As you see on your screen right now, that is tract 1, 155 acres. That has been sold. Tract 2 is the farm we were just talking about. Gives you a visual right there. That pasture ground that had the announcement made about a potential connection to the Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation. As you see there, it does look like there's good fences in place that would come. Also, something you can deduct, section 179.
Yep.
Not necessarily the 180 that Dave had just announced. Tract 3 has been sold. That is the 79, almost 80 acres. That sold for $15,800.
Should put the Boa Safra link in the comments. Although it never came through on the...
So it said on my side, can't post to some channels. So it only went 3 channels.
Okay.
Tract 4 is still available. That is 70-acre parcel. Tract 5 has been sold. That is the one that we identified was right there. Looks like it's actually got cattle out on it as these drone pictures were taken. A couple of cattle passed right across it, so that would provide a little extra incentive there. Tract 6 and 7 are still available. As you see there, good farms.
14.1 online. 14 was in the room. So we are right back at appraised value here.
14,100 online. Now going to be 2. Down 14,102. 14,100. Now going to be 2. Don't let it get away for $100. 14.1. Give 2. 14.2. 14,100. Here to 2 round ring. 14.2. 14.2.
Look at that. Got the Boa Safra link right up on the screen for you.
14,200. 14,200. 14,100. 200 here. Are you done? 14.2. 3 here to 3. Internet. Now
Commented by you. Look at that beautiful smile of yours.
Now going to be 3.
Looking good. I was happy. It was up on top of the green leg. I think I just got done putting that motor up there with a crane, so I was really excited to spend money and risk my life.
14.3. 14-2, 14-3.
We have 14-2 in
14-2
the room. We still have 4 tracks, 3 tracks. 2, 4, 6, and 7.
4 tracks.
Internet, you got to click it if you want it. 14-2, last call.
Last call here.
14-3.
There's a little bit of a delay. So don't find yourself waiting too long if you're bidding.
Got to go to WMGauction.com to make sure you get your bid there.
Anybody else? 14-3. 14-2.
Excited.
Sold.
Sold.
$14,200.
14-2.
In the back, what is your number today? $14,200 on 129, and you want the rest of them?
No, he was interested in going over there, maybe a couple of them.
He's in.
Thank you to Farm Credit Services of America for bringing the Matt House.
He's in Vietnam.
Team. All of you guys appreciate that. Cookies and coffee. As they're thinking about which ones they want.
14,200 was bid in the
take
room.
A couple here. We might have 1 or 2 left, and then we'll go right into that last one.
That's right at appraised value.
Kind of got the feeling of like picking your fantasy football team, but just with a lot more millions, you know. How many? I wonder, you know, that's a big once in a lifetime decision to purchase these farms, and you just can imagine the emotions that's going through. You know, I want them all, but can I afford them? Is that called like going to your banker?
Yeah,
you know, multiple bankers. Right. Well, you'd hope.
Yeah.
I've bought some things at auction before that I wasn't planning on buying. This might be a little bit bigger decision. My excuse is my finger slipped. I don't know if the banker would buy that.
All right, Dave has left the screen visual. Boy, it sure is a nice looking setup. So if you haven't been watching them over at WMGauction.com, go take a look at that. Very nice setup there in the front of the room, making it very clear so we know exactly what's being sold and for how much as we put this process together for you.
He's back.
What is your?
Here we go.
About that there.
Still thinking.
Give them the time on that. Like I said, it's big decisions here. Just a little.
What's your bet?
A little bit of a plug. If you guys have anything coming up,
I'm still going with
that you need
track. Was it 6 that I liked?
Landlord wants to sell. We've had a whole bunch of that lately. Landlord wants to sell. Man, we really don't want to buy. Do you have a value what that is? We'd love to put a valuation together for you. We study every farm that sells, about 116 companies in the state of Iowa that we track every one of their sales.
So looking at what you have, track 6.
We'd love to assist you with that by any means. From Farm
78 acres comes with a very farmable acreage.
16.
Now track 7 comes with a grain bin.
They're all pocket listings. If you're an investor buyer, 1031 style, and you're looking to place your money somewhere, hitting your 45-day window, you want some exchange properties, you might not see them on the website, but we have a whole bunch on the back end. So there's a handful of farmers that want some sale leasebacks out there. Get with us and let us know. We'll see what they took here.
It's actually a good point. We've got an in-studio audience that's helping us out.
Get that updated here.
What did he just say? Took 6 and 7?
So it looks like we have track 2 left.
Oh. Took 3 parcels.
Took 4, 6, and 7? Is that?
Yeah. What was the bid on that? 14.
14.2.
Right at appraised value.
There you go. Track 8 sold. Track 7, track 6, track 5, track 4, 3 and 1. We have track 2 left. A bunch of people asked, can this be farmed? Well, I can tell you right next to it is being farmed. Some people thought it might be a little wet right there. It's still a strong CSR, good soil type to it. There is a well on it. There's a
well on the pasture.
I did check with the county. It is a buildable parcel as well. If you wanted to build something on there, even if you wanted a grain setup and you just wanted something on 141 that you wanted to do with that, although you might crediting track 2, I do think that you can farm it, and FSA office would sure let you do that if you wanted. If you wanted some strong pasture, here's your opportunity. Ready to go? Track 2's left in the ring.
We're bidding on track 2 now. Pull that thing up. Let's get a look at it. This is the pasture ground. Got a well on it. Looks like good fence from the photos. Got a little working area for some cattle.
One more special thank you to, I know Connie's in the room. Thank you, Connie and family.
Good CSR on it.
For trusting us through this process. The crowd has spoken today.
And even if it sells for more pasture price, what he was talking about, Boa Safra, the Section 180 nutrient tax deduction, you can still take that on pasture ground.
That's correct.
Somebody bid 6,000. I'm 6 and now 7. I'm 7 and now 8 and now.
And they're going now.
$8,000. I'm 7. Now going to be 8. I'm 7. Here to $8,000. I'm 7. Now going to be 8. I'm $7,000. $8,000. $8,000. I'm $7,000 now. 82.4 CSR2 with Canaseo clay loam soils. I think so. Oh, now 8 here to $8. I got 7 bids. Somebody bid 8. I'm 7. Now 8.
So right now on the crop ground acres that have sold, we're looking at an average sales price of $14,659.55. 611 and a half acres sold for $9,322,155. We'll see what this last 24 acre pasture ground sells for to round out this sale today.
Somebody bid 5. Somebody bid the 5. 5 of the money. 5 of the bottom of the bid at 7,500. On 75. 5 of the bottom of the bid at 7,500 to bid. 7,500 to buy. On 7,500. 5 of the money. 5 of the bottom of the bid at 75. On 75.
We're at 7,000 in the room.
7,500's all. 7,500. 75. Think we got a better deal than that, guys. Deal of the day. $7,500. $7,500 down.
Yeah, I know it. The commenter said it could be wet, but even if you were to go, you get 20, 30 minutes outside of Des Moines, even an hour outside of Des Moines, a buildable parcel around here, they've been selling for a ton of money.
Yep.
You get 5 acres and they sell for $50,000 an acre. Yep. I know some just west of town here sold for above $17,000 an acre because it was a buildable parcel. WMGauction.com if you want to go get in there. I think they provided a number too. If you wanted to just call 515-996-5263.
Yeah.
If you wanted to call to someone in the room, you could actually be a phone bidder.
$7,500. Before I say sold, I want to give a thank you to my crew because it took a lot of work to set this one up. Thanks to everybody that played. Thanks to Brown Winnick Law Firm.
Yeah.
Thanks to Bump and Bump Law Firm. Appreciate you both. I got 7,000. Somebody bid 7,100.
Carl is in at $1.
$1, Bob.
$7,100 here down.
Again, last parcel is tract 2, 24, a little over 24 acres. Has been pastured, can be farmed. Does have a well on it, has nice fences on it. Does have rural water and power right next to it.
There
it's
it
also
is.
right on the highway.
71 in the room. 72 in the room. 73. Now you got to go on a little bit. 74 in the room.
I know in Dave's head he's thinking, I was just at 7,500. Why didn't you hit on the 75?
Sometimes you just got to take her down to $100 increments. He will not go below $100 increments, I don't think.
7,800.
7,800 in the room. Could be the deal of the day. Definitely going to be the deal of the day per CSR.
Yes.
That's cheaper than $100 per CSR point, which we haven't seen since pre-2020.
That's what I should also include.
More time on the phone. On 79. 7,800, 900.
7,800 in the room.
7,800, 79. On 7,800, 79. 7,800 here.
24.37 acres, looking at about 190, a little over 190,000 an acre, or 190,000 for the total, not per acre.
Matt, you bid 78, 79. Oh, about put you in 78, 79. I'm 7,800, 900.
You about put someone in.
78, 9. Ron got you in the lead. 7,800.
Remember that Iowa Natural Heritage would like to talk to someone that does buy this. So there might be some back end incentives here too. I'm not quite sure what they all do.
Tell you what, sold
Sold.
your way. Number is
$7,800.
$7,800. 5024. Way in the back. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the family and Whitaker Market,
What was that?
thank you so much for coming out.
$7,800 an acre.
Get the results posted up there on the screen. Feel free.
$9,512,241 an acre.
Did you drag that over?
Or total sale.
There it comes. Looks like grand total $9,322,155. $9,322,155 with the average at 15,243 is our average for the day. 611 total.
I got a little different numbers than Dave has.
Bid number, the last one, Ron. What was that bid number in the back? 5024.
That was in the room.
Thanks for everybody that was watching online as well.
Doler.
It's been interesting to see who all was there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think 100 to 150 people in the room. That's a pretty good turnout. I don't know how big that room is there, but I imagine it's pretty tight. That's a lot of people. I know they moved the auction down to Panora because there wasn't a big enough place in either Yale or Bagley or anywhere close. So they had to move to a little bit bigger town to get enough people in. Looks like they cut our audio now. Oh, there's Brian. So he'll get some stuff up. One thing probably pushing some of these values, especially when you just get a little bit outside of a major town like Des Moines or its suburbs, is 1031 money that we really didn't talk about beforehand. But what is 1031 tax deferred exchange, Tanner?
Yeah, so that provides a seller of a previous farm to be able to step into and defer capital gains taxes if they invest in another like-kind piece of property. So certainly provides those incentives. So Dave made an announcement inside his room. As we said before in the beginning of this, we are not part of Whitaker Marketing Group. This is Corey and Tanner as the Farm for Profit podcast doing a live broadcast here on behalf of Whitaker Marketing Group. Obviously, contracts will supersede any information that we put together. But my high-level spreadsheet provides a total land sale of a little over $9.5 million. If you take that last piece of pasture out, you are looking at a cropland dollar per acre of $14,659, which is quite interesting because I got to check my math here, Corey. I don't know why the total land would have a larger dollar per acre than only the cropland. So I will take a look at that formula here.
Maybe your math is not mathing. Which, you set that spreadsheet up while this auction was going on. So there we go.
Better.
There we go.
Got to get that copy and pasted in there. So a little over 15.2 per tillable acre as far as that goes.
Looks like dollars per CSR point range from $182.66 down to 160.27 was the range for the cropland. And you go down to the pasture land, that was still an 82.4 CSR too at 94.66. So per CSR, that was the deal of the day. Might have what does Dave call barnacles attached to it with a little bit of moisture and being pasture. But if you were one to build on the dry spot and that's a cheap buildable parcel. And just not, inherently, there's just not a lot of pasture land in central Iowa. So if you want to have some cattle, not a bad deal. Oh, now we got music coming back in. I'll kill that.
So it is quite interesting when you look at the high level math. Again, this is not certified math as you're looking at the screen. We do have, when all total land, roughly $162 per CSR 2 point. That's pretty strong sale.
That's very strong.
That's pretty good. Of course, all across the acres, it's an 87.6 CSR as far as an average score goes. Obviously, each farm is unique in its own style. But when you take that piece of pasture ground out, it jumps $10 per CSR point. So that's that is quite interesting as you look at that.
Very much so. Want to give another plug to Whitaker Marketing Group, WMGauction.com. Dave and Ann and the team do an amazing job. If you want to look into selling your ground in the future, heck, if you just want to get a value on it, they're willing to do that. Great team, mom and pop shop, if you will. Very local, right here in Huxley, Iowa, Central Iowa. But they're small company, but they do big things.
Yep.
They go. He's licensed in several different states. I know he's been down to Missouri and the Dakotas and working on some licensing in other states as well. So definitely look into them. It's been a pleasure dealing with Dave on the podcast as well. He provides a unique perspective because auctioneers have to know a lot about everything.
Absolutely. Well, Corey, I want to thank you for sticking out. We've been on this live for just shy of an hour and 40 minutes. Everybody that watched, that came and went, we appreciate each one of you. Of course, Dave at WMGauction.com has been great. We also want to thank our donut delivery, because now we get to enjoy those as well. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we get to do more of these. I know Dave has a lot more auctions coming up. Make sure you visit his website and look up. I believe we've got Greene and Grundy County potentially coming up.
Yeah, we could highlight some of his sales here. I could pull that up. What's coming up if you're interested in purchasing some farmland. Dave has an auction in his next auction is Grundy County, 214 acres on March 11th in 3 tracks. Looks like some good ground there. And then Greene County on March 28th, 255.26 acres, more or less, 3 tracks there. He has a sealed bid auction coming up on April 1st in Mills County, Iowa, 217.45. That was the one out there in western Iowa that when we went to that auction that he had a potential that might be selling. That was a nice piece that's laying right off an interchange there off of a main. I don't know. Is that a highway or interstate?
It was 4-lane.
96 CSR there. That's about as good as you can possibly get. And then let's see.
That was a very flat.
Yes, it was. Yeah, you could stand on top of the pickup and see the whole thing. Then he's got one in Hardin County. Looks like that might just be a listing. Looks like I got a windmill on it. 212.69 acres. Another listing in Bremer County, 219.43 acres. And then he's got all his under contract. So, yeah, he's got some good farmland coming up for sale. Nothing in our immediate area, which is good because I don't have any money to buy it anyway. So you might as well save it until I can now.
That's right.
If you guys like this, we'd love to have your comments. Where should they send those comments? Send it to Whitaker Marketing or
info at WMGauction.com. You can also look us up, Farm for Profit Podcast, and leave us comments there. So we appreciate you sticking around. It was quite a bit of time spending with us, but we hopefully gave you a little bit of value, a little entertainment, and it went well.
Yeah, and you can find us anywhere that you find a podcast, on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, on any of our socials. And maybe we'll do this more if you liked it. Wish we could have brought you the live feed in a picture-in-picture format.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
I think Tanner's computer, where everything was coming from, just was doing too much, trying to do too much between getting his video and sending our video out. So we might have to loop another thing in, another computer in there. But that's what you get when it's live. And so
that's good. All right, we're going to close out the stream and appreciate all of you that stuck around. Have yourself a good rest of your Thursday.